Someone's at home, crying all alone on the bedroom floor, cause he's hungry. And the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money, and his dad is home. So we're smoking rock now, in and out of lockdown. I ain't got a job now. So for you, this is just a good time, but for me, this is what I call life. City high, y'all. City high, y'all. City high.
What up guys, Ali here, and welcome to the channel. Now before I get started, make sure to add me on IG at Ali Talks Music, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. As the 20th century progressed to a close, two high school sweethearts realized their dream to become famous singers. These two high school sweethearts were Claudette Ortiz and Robbie Partlow. The two lovebirds had attended the same high school where they got together. At the time, Claudette was 16 years old and Robbie was 18. Claudette's older sister was in the same grade as Robbie and had a flair for music just like Claudette did. Their mutual love for music became the flint that lighted their teenage love, and they got together based on that. After that, they decided to work together, forming a working relationship that lasted for some time. Together, Claudette and Robbie set out to see the musical world, and in no time, they struck gold. The duo performed for and impressed the founder of the Fugees, Wyclef Jean. He signed them to his Booga Basement recording label, and after the papers were all signed and all of the contracts were finalized, City High was born. The band consisted of Claudette and Robbie at first, until the management suggested that they include a third member. Listening to the suggestion of the management of their record label, Robbie enlisted his former high school friend and fellow music buddy, Ryan Toby. Once that happened, the group morphed from a duo into a trio. And like an oak, they grew and became a successful hip-hop/R&B group. Now City High quickly blew into fame as their debut single What Would You Do quickly became a smash. Even though they held so much promise together as a group, it was so sad to realize that City High would never make it past their first album's success. Now the real questions are, what was City High all about? What did they achieve? And whatever happened to their glorious reign? Let's dig in and find out.
So I gotta make it on my own. We don't need your help, yeah. We don't want no passive. Clap your hands up. We are the leaders of your nation. We wanna make sure you survive.
Now City High as a band wrote all of their songs together. Their creativity and prolific manner of songwriting led them to greater heights in their career. Their lyrics were based on personal experiences and their perception of the world. Due to the relatability of their songs, it manifested into hit single after hit single. That's especially what influenced their first hit, What Would You Do? The song was recorded between 1999 and 2000, and then it was released in 2001. The single was without a doubt a hit. Now the single also appeared high up on the US Billboard Singles Chart, appearing at number 8. On the US Hot R&B Hip Hop Singles Chart, it settled at number 13. Internationally, it continued to make a blaze as it owned the second spot on the Australian and Ireland Singles Chart. In the UK Singles Chart, it captured the third spot. It was pretty shocking for a rookie song to make it so high across so many international platforms. At this point in their career, it's safe to say that City High were international stars. In terms of sales, the single was certified platinum in the UK and earned a gold certification in Australia after selling about 35,000 copies. The song earned them a Grammy nomination, and it appeared on the soundtrack to the movie Life in 1999. This was prior to its official release in 2001. The album City High was released through the label Interscope. The album was composed of 14 singles, which were all recorded from 1999 to 2001. Fueled by the success of their debut single, What Would You Do?, their debut album did massively well, both in sales and chart performance. The album debuted at number 34 on the Billboard 200. And even more impressive, it crested at the 23rd spot on the US R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. It did so well that it was certified gold by the RIAA months later. Now another single that did exceptionally well for the trio was a single called Caramel. Caramel was the second single of the City High album. It was released around 2001 and it featured the rapper Eve. The song was produced by Giscard Xavier, I think, and went on to become the second most successful single of City High before the group disbanded. Now the song was yet another hit as it rode up to number 18 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and went on to take over the 9th spot on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Singles chart. Like its predecessor, Caramel became internationally known, making its way to the UK R&B Singles chart, taking the 9th spot. Although the single was not as particularly popular as What Would You Do, it held its own ground of success, to a point where when people think about City High, the first tracks that come to mind are either Caramel or What Would You Do. When the City High album came out, it received favorable reviews, as many music critics gave welcoming comments concerning their rookie efforts. One reviewer even said, "City High is a movement that allows the world to see Black America in a different light, and let them know that blacks were more than just blunts and guns." Now, even though the album got a lot of favorable reviews, it did have a couple of haters, with some of them saying the album did not hit the mark. Now, around 2002, they shot mini commercials for MTV, singing their own songs to promote the 11th season of The Real World.
In the real world, Chicago.
Now, as rosy as the beginning might have looked, it wasn't all pretty. It was later revealed that Robbie and Claudette were in a toxic relationship, as Robbie was allegedly abusive and had a drug and alcohol problem, which were all behavioral defects that haunted him since he was 10 years old. Claudette even mentioned on multiple occasions, whenever she was interviewed, that they broke up before their first and only album was even completed and released. In an interview with Gossip.com, she gave details to her tumultuous relationship with Robbie. In the interview, she said, "The summer I was turning 18, Wyclef had a 4th of July barbecue at his house. There were a bunch of music industry people. I don't recall what exactly brought it on, but he blacked out on me at the barbecue. He got in my face and started yelling, 'You ain't shit. You ain't ever gonna be shit.' And Robbie was a big guy. He was so close I could feel the spit hitting me in the face. At my age, I was so intimidated by that, belittling me in front of all those important people. There was another time I was confronting him about a girl and he threw a brush at me. I ducked and the brush went through his bedroom door. That's how much force he used. If I hadn't ducked, I probably wouldn't be alive today." Now, after shooting commercials to promote 2002's The Real World, they disbanded around 2003 and failed to release another album despite their first album's success. Oh, did I forget to mention that a year after her breakup with Robbie, Claudette got together with Ryan. Friends in the beginning, lovers afterwards. So cute, right? They soon got married and had 2 sons, but later got a divorce around 2007. And this whole situation sounds like a complete mess to me. Complete mess. And reminds me of the Steve Harvey clip that's circulating the internet. Can men and women really be friends?
We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity.
Now, this is one of those situations where mixing business and pleasure goes left, and completely left. If you think about it, Claudette, Ryan, and Robbie would have made a lot of money together if they put out another album. Their first album was already successful, going gold. However, the group let their personal differences stop them from getting another bag. A lot of people assume the reason the group disbanded was because of an alleged love triangle between the group members. But ultimately, Robbie's struggle with addiction to drugs and alcohol contributed to the group's downfall. Claudette told TT Torres that he passed out during radio shows and even showed up to the Grammys inebriated.
Before the album even dropped, tormenting me through that. So it was hard for me to enjoy being on the road and things like that. Then on the business side, he was not doing what he was supposed to do. I mean, we would go to radio interviews. He would pass out during the radio interview. We would have shows. He wouldn't show up to shows.
Because he was drunk.
He would humiliate me. Yeah. And whatever else he was doing. So then, I would be humiliated in front of people, and he even got drunk before the Grammys, and we were just like, come on, man.
Now, if I'm Robbie, I'm probably thinking to myself, was Claudette lasting after Ryan when her and I were together? Did they cheat on me? And why did Claudette move on so soon? Now, Claudette actually attempted a solo career after the band dispersed. She was featured on 2 Wrongs with Wyclef Jean in 2002 and Can't Get Enough with Mace in 2006. Claudette and Ryan lost their Atlanta home prior to their divorce in 2010, but by that point they were already living in separate states. Do you know why they got divorced after being together for 11 years? Drop a comment below. Life was a struggle for Claudette after the divorce. She tried investing in real estate and started multiple businesses, which weren't successful. She even considered joining the Air Force Reserve, but was offered a huge opportunity to join R&B divas instead. Yes, I never stopped working. I bumped heads with the record company in the direction of where we wanted the music to go. I was raising my children and trying to stay in school at the same time. Just be a career mom. It was hard to juggle. So I was just trying to figure out the do my music and raise my children at the same time. So I was in real estate and owned businesses as well. But they plummeted. I hit rock bottom and I was at a crossroads when VH1 producers approached me to be on the show. It came just in time, and it was a blessing for me and my family. In 2010, a song she referenced was leaked. The song was called Simply Amazing, and it added some buzz to her name. And in 2014, she dropped her single, Automatic. She landed a few acting gigs with Tyler Perry, including his play Madea on the Run, Madea's Farewell Play, and a recurring role in If Loving You Is Wrong. The last time we heard from her, she was working on a solo project which would include songs about her past relationships. This has not dropped as of yet. Now as for Robbie, there was no news of him until 2010 when he was featured on A&E's Intervention series. After the episode ended, Robbie was sent to rehab where it was said that he was slowly walking in the paths of sobriety and forsaking his former life. In 2012, he joined Lil' Kim on tour representing City High. Sometime around 2015, Robbie opened a GoFundMe account soliciting for support from the general public after he was allegedly robbed of all his studio equipment. In 2017, he was featured in a single called Situations with Porter Rich. Aside from that setback, Robbie's life is at least better than before his days of addiction. Now, the only ex-bandmate that was left with a thriving career was Ryan. His solo career kept growing even bigger after the band split. He's currently a songwriter, actor, producer, and a singer. He has also written and released quite a number of hits for stars like Usher. He wrote for Justin Bieber, writing All Bad. He wrote for Estelle, writing Better. He wrote for Fifth Harmony and even worked on Empire. Now, it is true that the trio, City High, had a short lifespan in the mainstream music industry. Before their exit from the music industry, they left with a timeless hit and a lesson, the timeless hit being their album, and a lesson of how fast good things can go away with the wind. City High gets about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and their most popular songs on the platform are What Would You Do, Caramel, and City High Anthem.
Hey, hold up, wait, stop the tape. Hey, yo, Mr. DJ, throw on that old break. Yo, my name is Ryan, y'all. I'm representing City High. But let me take y'all back to how it all materialized. Wyclef Jean signed Robbie on a solo deal. Then they changed it to a KC and JoJo deal. That's when I became a refugee. The only problem was they had to group the Prodigy and B, you dig? That's when Shorty came in, reppin' Latino, 5'5" brown eye, mommy straight from Puerto Rico.
This week's post notification shoutouts go to Gare Tyndall, Rosanda Holly, a day one supporter of the channel, and King Noir. Thanks for being part of the fam and turning on your notification bell. That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to City High in your opinion? Let me know down below. Also, if you have a video request, be sure to let me know down as well. Add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. You can also request videos over there. New What Happened 2 video dropping next week. Till next time, peace.